Hi. It is once again Tuesday, March 10th. Right about 6:10 p.m. as of recording of this video. 2 in 1 day again. How about that? So this last Friday, Joey had his first soccer game. He had lots of fun. He really likes it. He is far and away the biggest kid on the team, and also the slowest. He, unless he's focused on it, he just kind of clops along, kind of like Herman Munster. It's primarily because I think that he is just growing so damn fast. His body is growing too fast for it to catch up to itself, and it makes him ungainly. It makes him clumsy. And he has led a much more sedentary life over the last year. His mom is a very sedentary person, and he has gotten that way. And I have not yet recovered to the point where I can really get outside and get him more active again. We used to be, we used to play outside, go for walks, go on hikes, go on adventures around town, parks and playgrounds, and he has not been doing that since he has been primarily in his mother's care. She didn't used to be that way. She got that way. She became much more sedentary after he was born. She and I used to go on hikes and walks all the time, go on adventures around town and out of town, to other cities, places. We would travel for 2 or 3 hours just to go to a different hiking trail. But that all changed, and now she would much rather spend her time sitting on the couch. And so does Joey. He was kind of clopping along, and he came in for water, and I told him, I said, I said, if you want to get your feet on that ball, you've got to move, you got to run, take big steps and pump your arms really hard, fast. And he started doing it. He got better at it. He actually managed to get the ball a couple times, a couple good kicks, a couple blocks, intercepts. He did good, and he'll do a lot better as we go. I've said before, I grew up learning traditional martial arts from my dad, and I've been working on teaching Joey. And I've had to heavily personalize the way I teach him, because I guess because of the autism, it changes the way he perceives things. I've definitely had to make much more of a game out of it, but he's getting there. He's doing it, and he did like a beautiful front kick to intercept the ball and knocked it across the field. And I guess he's so used to not getting the ball that when he does get it and he gives a good kick or whatever, he's like amazed, and he just stands there and watch it go instead of continuing to chase it. We'll get there. We'll get there. Saturday, he had his second Pinewood Derby race with the Boy Scouts. We did the first one last year, and he and I built his car last year. I think he painted the car this year. He definitely painted it. I don't know how much building he did to it. If anything else he did to it. His mother and her boyfriend, who I'm trying not to refer to as the doofus. But it's really hard. They did the work on the car. The boyfriend, I guess, is a sales tech at an Apple store and considers himself, I guess, a gadget guy. Joey calls him the gadget guy because he has a bunch of Apple gadgets. Useless junk as far as I'm concerned, but you know, that's me. I'm old-fashioned. But this guy, man, I'll tell you, just listening to him talk, he's just he's a doofus. He and Joey's mom did the work to the car. Last year, one of the kids had lights on their car. Joey thought that was super cool, wanted to put lights on his car this year. First thing I'm thinking, okay, you know, we gotta take a very long drill bit. I have, you know, some extra long drill bits, some 10, 12-inch drill bits. Drill down the length of the car, run the wires through the body of the car, hollow out a recess for the battery, and you know, solder on some disconnects for the wires to the battery, and you know, either add like a little metal brace clip to hold the battery in. We have lights, we have secure wires, boom. They did not do that. They put the lights on the car and they ran the wires on the undercarriage of the car. I don't know how much, or if any, they recessed the battery, but they secured the battery with a strip of duct tape. And between the wires and the duct tape and the fact that they did not do any extra shaping to the body of the car, it lost. Joey did not win one race. The heat he was in was like 15 races, and he didn't win any of them. Last year, when he and I built his car, you know, I know woodwork, and you know, I know how to build a race car. Daddy knows how to build a race car, even if it's out of wood. And we took first place. Didn't get nothing this year. I was worried that he was going to be, you know, extra bummed. Because he used to really beat himself up if he lost or failed in something. And he was bummed, but he wasn't too bad, you know. And I told him, you know, sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. And, you know, when we win, we're happy, we celebrate. When we lose, don't get mad, try not to get sad. Use it as a learning experience, you know. Figure out why you lost this time so you can win next time. And I told him, I said, you know, we had a banger last year. We we took first place. We won the trophy. We'll do it next year. And he said, yeah, Daddy. He said, we'll do it good next year. So it was good. My ex and the doofus made a car for her too, and it didn't have lights, and she said she won her heat. Joey didn't want to stay around and watch her race. He wanted to come back here and hang out with my folks. So we'll do it right next year. The rest of the weekend was, it rained like hell Sunday, like it did yesterday. We stayed inside. We played games, a couple video games that I can halfway see if I'm right there on the TV. I've never needed a super big TV. This is one instance where I wish I had a super big TV, not that I could afford it. But I can see well enough, for us to play. Played games in here with toys, did homework, just hung out, enjoyed each other's company. It was a good weekend. And then she came and picked him up yesterday. Well, she came and picked him up, yesterday, Sunday. No. I don't know where I'm at. Yesterday was Monday. She came and picked him up Sunday. And I was bummed. I tried to make a couple videos, but I wasn't feeling it. So that's that. I wanted to address a couple of comments that I have received today from the last video I did earlier today. Just so the information is there, the answers are there for everyone else that might be wondering. I had one commenter that said, that asked me if I knew that I could add my son as a beneficiary, and that would increase my SSDI checks. And then I had one person that asked me, well, she didn't ask, she said, you must get a lot on SSDI because she has someone that's been on it for a very long time, and only just recently got up to, I think she said like $1,300 a month. And the answer to both of those, questions, statements, comments, is yes. I know that I can have my son as a beneficiary dependent. I have known that from the beginning, and I have had him as a beneficiary dependent because I would not have been able to make any of this work. The money that I get for just me would not be enough to even to make a mortgage payment. Especially as it is now. But I have my son set as a beneficiary dependent, kind of like you do on your taxes, I guess. So I get my regular SSDI, for me, and then I get a secondary deposit that is 50% of my payment, my income, for him, and that goes to, living and care. And that's what it does. It goes to, paying the mortgage and helping to keep the lights on and whatnot. So yes, I know that, and that is the only way I'm able to make any of this work, and have been able to make any of this work since the words "I want a divorce" were uttered by my lovely wife, ex-wife. So yes, I do get more than the average person that is on SSDI. My dad's also on it because at his last job he got really seriously hurt and he can't work anymore. So he gets it too, and he had to fight harder for it than I did, and I had to fight like hell for it. In fact, if it wasn't for my son being a toddler at the time, I probably wouldn't have got it when I did. But my dad gets, less than I do. He gets, just barely $1,400 a month, and they have it really tough. That's why they can't really help me financially, because they don't have it. And what I have, goes to being able to just barely eke out survival. Pretty much just like theirs does. And as I have said from the beginning, the only reason that I started a GoFundMe is because my medical needs got to a point where it was beyond, what I could manage. I do not, I'm not able to, absorb it all. And because I don't have any kind of a support system, but again, because of my SSDI, I don't qualify for any aid programs. A couple of years ago, I got like $19 on food stamps, and now I don't even qualify for that. So, like I say, I'm in this weird little rock and a hard place where I don't make enough to live, but I make too much to get help, which is why I started the GoFundMe campaign. If I could, do this where I can reduce my mortgage payment, that will be a huge help. I will still keep the GoFundMe up. I still need help where I can get it until I'm able to get a job. Like I said, when I went and got my injections done, not yesterday, but the previous Monday, they hit me for $158. I don't have that, and it's not like, well, they're just going to keep billing me. If I can't make my co-pays, they're not going to do the work, and I have to have my eyes. I can't do this and be blind. Maybe being, mostly blind, fully blind, would open me up to some different aid programs, but it would be of no benefit because I would lose, equal custody of my son. And if I don't have him, there's just no point in doing any of this shit. There's no point in continuing to deal with my life as it has become. I've had a lot of people tell me, be happy with what you've got, because there's a lot of other people out there that don't have what you have. They got it worse than you do. I agree. That's true. But my life is not sunshine and rainbows. My life is really fucking hard. Pardon my French. I try not to use that word, but sometimes it's allowable. My life is not easy, and I think a lot of people take for granted for the fact that by what they see or what they hear, it's not as hard as I make it sound. I am not trying to overshadow, or I'm not trying to overdo, I'm not trying to blow my situation out of proportion when I tell you that you have no idea exactly how hard my life is, exactly what I've been through and what I live through on a day-to-day basis. You have no idea. I don't put everything out here. I put out what I have to. I put out what I have to explain to people why I have the GoFundMe. There's so much more. So I appreciate your opinion, and you are right, those of you that have made statements like that. But I also feel like, I don't know for sure, but I feel like everyone that has made such a statement is in way better shape than I am. Physically, financially. Because I've talked to people on here that are in a similar financial situation, that are dealing with physical hardships, with, ailments, or, just old age, and they get it. They don't accuse me of, well, you're just blowing shit out of proportion. Da, da, da. They understand where I'm coming from, and I understand. I've got both my legs. I still can see. I haven't been the victim of like necrotizing fasciitis where my limbs and my jaw and my eyes are gone, but my life has changed radically for the worse. You may think, well, you just lost half a foot, big deal. It is a big deal. I promise you it is. It is not easy. And it's not just that I lost half a foot. It's that I still have all the problems that went into me losing half a foot. It's not just that I lost half a foot. I have no immune system. I am still trying to heal a wound that has been there since July of 2024. Everything about my body is vastly reduced and limited as to what it was even before last year. And maybe I've always said, if it was just one of these problems, like when it was just cancer, it sucked, but I dealt with it. It's not just cancer. It's not just I lost half a foot. It's not just I'm fighting to save my eyesight. It's not just 24 other problems that I don't talk about. It's all of that at once, together. So I appreciate your criticisms. But when you really don't understand where I'm coming from, maybe hold back on it. And if you don't want to hold back on it, that's fine. That's up to you. As far as I can care, though, you can take your criticisms and your opinion and you can park them where the sun don't shine, because you're not getting anywhere. And I haven't had anything like that for a while. I'm just saying, I don't have a GoFundMe because I want an easy ride. The GoFundMe has not provided an easy ride. I've had some success with it, but it's been spotty. And over the last few months, it's been very minimal. Over the last few months, it really hasn't done anything but, provided a little extra gas money when it was necessary. I don't have the GoFundMe up because I want an easy ride. I have the GoFundMe up because I'm trying to do anything and everything I can to survive. And as soon as I'm healthy enough to go back to work, you bet your sweet ass that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I will happily close that GoFundMe account down. Nobody will be happier to see that go than me, I promise you. I'm not angry. I'm not getting angry. I get passionate about it, but a lot of people take that for me being angry. I'm not being angry. I'm just, I'm trying to make people understand that may not understand what the real score is, you know. And I think a lot of people don't understand and don't appreciate, you know, just how bad things are. I mean, I will admit, I don't look like a guy that's got stage 4 cancer. I don't look like a guy that, you know, is dealing with all these problems. But I am, because, you know, I don't blow my own horn, but it's something I can do. I'm no stranger to pain. I tolerate it pretty well. I'm nice and polite, but I'm also strong and hard and tough, you know, when I have to be. And that's every day. I have to be every day. So I just wanted to get that out there, you know, not coming after anybody. I'm not angry. I'm just trying to clarify some things so that everyone understands it. And, you know, so I don't have to keep answering the same questions in the comments, though I will if I must. That's that. I'll get at y'all again here in the next couple of days. You tell some meaningless stories, I don't know. Have a good one. Bye-bye.